everybody. It's Patty from the Four Boys and NL Girl podcast. This is car chat number 2 sorry, my phone's in my pocket and it's banging around. It's chillier out in my van than it was yesterday. Although still not cold enough for me to wear my my winter coat. So I am coming to you from the extreme east coast in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador on the island of Newfoundland. I am right now almost in the ocean. We live just overlooking the ocean on the extreme east coast, almost at the most easterly point in North America. And our snow is melting. It is supposed to be a miserable later afternoon and evening. We're supposed to get 50 to 60 millimeters of rain, I think. And then other parts of the island and Labrador are supposed to get a wicked blizzard. So it's going to be an interesting night for travel. Hopefully people will be staying home and staying safe. I guess in this day and age of social distancing and the concerns around COVID-19, that social distancing and staying at home are the thing to do. So I am out in my little she shed. Somebody mentioned I should get a she shed. I think it may have been Carol. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a great idea. I should get a she shed. Although I mentioned that to my husband. He said he wants a he shed before I get a she shed. And that is because I have a craft room, but he does not have his own space anywhere in our very overly large house. So he said that he would really prefer to have something before I got one. And I think that's totally fair. So what am I going to talk about today? One thing I forgot to do yesterday was I'm going to do a draw for the little spring cross-stitch pattern that I had from last week. So please have a look, and congratulations to the winner. I'll put your name at the bottom of the screen. Congratulations. I will get that off to you, and I need to let the winners from last time know, Maurice and Carol, and the new winner. I have not gotten to the mail yet. I'm sorry. It's been a crazy week getting used to this whole staying at home with 3 kids business. I am not sure if our local post office is actually open a business as usual or not, but I will endeavor to get those in the mail. If not tomorrow, Saturday, then I will certainly on Monday. I'll get those in the mail for you. My apologies. So I wanted to talk to you today. I feel that I'm talking too fast. I'm also a little self-conscious. I'm in my driveway. Nobody can see me, but I feel like I'm being watched. I don't know who would be watching me, but I just have a feeling that I'm being watched. I am, as I was yesterday, waiting for a friend of mine to call. We're going to have our little date on the telephone. I have my not tea today. I have my hot chocolate that is laced with a bit of Bailey's. Extreme times call for extreme drinks, and it is gorgeous. It is really tasty. So I'm enjoying that. Hopefully I'll get to drink it before it gets too cold. What to talk about? The first thing I'm going to talk about is, I mentioned yesterday that I was going to speak a little bit about my full coverage piece. What I forgot to bring out, and I'll insert a picture here of the piece that I'm doing. It's an Orenco, I think is how you pronounce the name of the pattern company. And this is a William Morris. It's a piece of a William Morris design, and for anybody who doesn't know anything about the arts and crafts movement of interior design and decorating, William Morris in the UK was a driving force behind the arts and crafts movement. And if you're interested, then do a brief search on the interwebs and you will find all kinds of information about William Morris, his designs and what he did, and some history there. So I have been a William Morris fan for a very long time. In 2006, I had opportunity to be, we left Germany, we lived in Germany for 4 years. We left there in 2002, and I went back to visit my brother and sister-in-law in 2006. And I went to the William Morris Museum when I was there, which was fantastic. Great thrill. And Strawberry Thief is one of my favorite of his motifs. So this is, though it's not a Hade, it's not a design by Heaven and Earth Designs, it is a full coverage piece. It measures 14 inches by 14 inches. And this piece, I'm trying to take my time and get prepared to work on it because I am totally freaked out with the whole process. So in my journey of getting prepared to do a full coverage piece, I've been watching Pam's from Pam's Crafty Corner, hi Pam, and Teresa from Teresa Little Stitchers. Those are the two main folks that I've been watching their video tutorials about full coverage pieces. And I'm pulling, I guess, what makes me comfortable from each of their thoughts and opinions, because there are some things that each of them do that I'm not as comfortable with, or I am as comfortable with one and not the other, or I'm coming up with my own thing entirely. So what I'm doing, the first thing that I did, well, I ordered my pattern. It's, like I said, it's Orenco Originals or Orenco Designs. I'll put that information up on the screen. Please support your local needlework store and designers, cross-stitch designers, now more than ever, because we are not being able to get out to our shops as frequently. So if you can find this locally, great. I did end up resorting to Amazon to purchase mine because I couldn't. Well, first of all, my local needlework store is 3/4 of the way across the country in Calgary, Alberta, and they didn't have it, and this is the only place that I personally could get this particular pattern. So that's what I did. I think I mentioned it's 14 inches by 14 inches, or it will be when it's completed. So the next thing that I did is I took my pattern, and I don't think I'm going to tell too much, so I blew it up quite a bit. Okay, so each of these squares represents 14 stitches, so you can see that I blew the pattern up quite a bit. I had that done at a local printing shop because I find, well, I can't do really big pages on my own personal printer, but the other thing is I wanted to use highlighter to mark where I'm marking my stitches, and I find with my personal computer, which is an inkjet, when I use a highlighter on them, the ink just smears. So on this one, as you can see, what I'm planning on stitching I've done in yellow. What I have stitched, I've put pink over the yellow, which makes orange. And where I'm parking my stitches, which I'll talk about in a second, I've put green or blue. It's supposed to be, I think it's green, but it's looking kind of blue in this light. So anyway, so I'm learning all kinds of new I'm learning all kinds of new terminology like parking and cross country. So from what I understand, the difference between those two is when so when I cross stitch, because I do smaller pieces, I stitch and stitch and stitch along, and then I end my thread, usually using a Bargello tuck. So I end my thread, snip it off, and move on to the next color. However, with full coverage pieces, the back of your piece, it's supposed to be, when it's finished, it's supposed to be a fairly thick piece of fabric. So you're not as much worried about how the back looks, and you are doing some traveling because it's all of it's going to be stitched, so you're going to be covering that in. You're not going to see those traveled stitches, threads in behind. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry about that. So after I blew up my pattern, the next thing to do was to order I wanted to order some Easy Grid. So this is an Easy Grid. This is a 14 count Easy Grid. I had gotten this from, where did I get this from? I ordered this from 123 Stitch. I couldn't, again, get it locally. Well, obviously I couldn't get it locally, but I also couldn't get it at my usual shop. So I ended up purchasing this at 123 Stitch, which is in the United States, and the shipping cost and time for I only ordered, believe it or not, I ordered from a needlework shop and only ordered one thing. And the price point for the shipping was really good. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was fine. It was absolutely fine. So, after that, I took my list of 30 colors to my local Michael's shop, which is not the least expensive place to purchase a lot of DMC thread, but it is one of the few places locally that I can get any DMC thread. And they do have the full selection there, but of course they had 5 or 6 colors that weren't in stock. And here's kind of the piles of the ones that were in stock, because some of the colors needed 12, some of them needed 2 or 3 skeins, and those aren't all the colors. I'll show all them to you in a second. So I got the Easy Grid fabric. I picked up my colors, missing, like I said, 5 or 6, which I could not find locally. So I did make an online purchase of those 5 or 6 threads. Then that's 5 or 6 colors times 2 or 3 skeins each from Traditional Stitches. And naturally, skeins of floss aren't meant to travel alone because they get lonely. So I had to order a couple of new Nashville Market 2020 releases, and I'll show them to you when they arrive. So rest assured that my floss is not traveling alone. So that's really good. What should have been a $5 purchase ended up being $80. But anyway, such is life. So once I had that done, the other thing that I did was, from Amazon, I ordered, so this was based on Teresa Little Stitcher's suggestion, which is a way of organizing floss. And I've never done full coverage. I've never worked with 30 or 40 or 90 colors before, and the concept really scares me, which is why I'm starting with my 30 color project as opposed to the 90 color Hade that I have, just because it scares me. So this is a product that's made in the Netherlands, in Holland. It's a Paco floss organizer. So that's what it looks like for organizing your floss, and I really like it. So it comes with, so in here, I don't know if you can see, there's like you can put your colors of your charts in there, and that comes with a bunch extra of those. So you can do a whole bunch of different patterns, and they're double-sided, so you can get quite a few. Before you have to get more of those, you can get quite a few projects out of these. So here is my loaded, so with the exception of those 5 or 6 flosses that I could not get, where is that attaching from? I have everything loaded in here. And the other thing that I did is, now Teresa had suggested cutting and pasting colors, the patterns or the symbols. Instead of doing that, I actually hand drew the symbols in there. I thought the symbols were pretty easy to draw. So hopefully you can see that there in the middle. So this holds all this floss. It's got the little, they're not really hooks, but I guess you can call them hooks, that you would put your loop around. And then these pieces here are kind of a foam that the thread pinches inside. So if I can just show you. So you would wrap it around there and then take your piece and pull it in between the foam, and then it stays there nicely. And then you can pull out your 1, 2, however many strands you're using for cross stitching out of there, and that works beautifully. So it's nice. So I was quite pleased when I had all these gorgeous flosses organized. So like I said, I'm still missing 5 or 6. I can't remember how many I'm missing. But at least one of those colors is I have, and I'll show you where I've gotten. I've started stitching, but one of the colors is that I'm missing is right in the middle of what I'm stitching, and because I can't finish it, it's annoying me. And so I've got these blank spots in where I'm stitching, and I've decided to wait until I get those colors before I keep going, because I'm finding that annoying. So I have my needle. I'm using a 20, is it John James or Bowen? Probably, it's either John James or Bowen, I'm not sure. Size 26 tapestry needle. So the other thing, again, jumping all over the place, I'm sorry. The other thing Teresa Little Stitcher had, or Teresa Little Stitcher, however you say that, suggested was doing a little stitch. We would call this a swatch in knitting. I'm not sure what you call it in cross stitch, but I'm going to call it a swatch. So do a little swatch using 2 or 3 threads in to see what the coverage is like and what your coverage preference is. So here on the top, this is using 2 threads of the 6-strand embroidered floss, and this is using 3 threads. I really like how the 3 threads are showing, or I really like that coverage. Now the pattern calls for 2/2. I'm going to be doing 3/2, which means I'm going to run out of floss, likely. So I'll just have to cross that bridge when I come to it. It's all DMC. I'm planning on finishing this within the next year and a half or 2 years, so the colors shouldn't change that much in that period of time. And I think I'll be doing okay. So you'll notice you may or may not notice in the rose-colored, let's see. So here's my wee little start right here. The pink, the rose color there has to come out. I made a mistake in my border right away, and because when I start a project, if I don't make a mistake right away, or 2 or 3 to start, it's not a real project. So this has been christened, it's a real project. So this little square here is my start, and that's as far as I've gotten. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this or not, but I have been parking my threads down here and over here. And that is because where these thread colors are coming up again are either to the side or down. I'm not sure if I'm really supposed to do that, and I'm not sure if I'll continue doing that or not, but that's what I'm doing right now to keep myself organized. And I think I mentioned on my pattern, which has fallen, when I park, I then mark the color in green, and then that is showing me, helping me identify what color it is when I go back, because I'm not with 10 colors at a time that are parked. I'm never going to remember which colors are there. So, and I realize I'm showing a little bit of pattern, but I don't think you're going to be able to get much from that. Hopefully there are no copyright rules broken by showing you that. So that's where I am, that teeny tiny start. But I'm pleased with that. I think sometimes just getting started with something new is the hardest. It is going to be full. It's going to be quite full in terms of coverage, but that's what I'm going for. I want it to have kind of a tapestry feel, and that's what I'm going for, and I think the 3 strands over 2 will give me that. I may live to regret that decision, we'll see, but I'm hoping that I'll do 4, 6, or 12 squares and see. I am fully cognizant of the fact I may end up taking this out again, but I think I'll do a fair few squares before and see if I think it looks too crowded. But I really did like the coverage I was getting, so hopefully that's what I'll stick with. So this is pretty cool, hey? I was really impressed when this came. I think that's really a neat way of organizing. I don't like to bobbinate. I normally keep my floss in an absolute mess. Sometimes I use sandwich size snack size Ziploc bags. Sometimes I don't use anything. So for me to be nice and organized like this is a nice change. But again, you buy them like this. They, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, does it say? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this will house 50 of your threads. So really I should have bought another one of these, because the one is going to be enough for that particular project, but I need this one plus one more for my rose window hay, which I'm also hoping to start this year. That one is going to be on a really long-term plan, but this William Morris one, I would actually like to get some progress done in that one this year. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that I have had in the works for a few months that I haven't announced yet. Let's see how I'm doing for time. Okay. The phone is going to ring soon, so I'm going to be interrupted. So this is something that like I said, I've had in the works for a while, and then the COVID virus hit, and it didn't seem like the appropriate time to let you know I was doing this, but I've decided, you know what, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. So I decided that one thing that I had been looking for was some Stitchy t-shirts. I wanted something that said something about stitching. Eventually I want t-shirts to say something about knitting, perhaps. And I'm sorry I keep looking over there, but this car is going back and forth, and oh, I'll be back. I'm back. So the next thing I wanted to show you, I decided, I believe before my friend rang, that I was talking about that I wanted a Stitchy shirt. And I thought, if I'm looking for kind of a Stitchy shirt, that's probably, potentially, some other people might be looking at ones as well. So what I did was I designed a little saying at the front and designed some t-shirts. So it says, rather be stitching. Here is one of the options. It's a 3/4. The sleeve comes down to here. This is the style actually I have been wearing for the past few days because the t-shirts are really comfortable. It's a tri-blend fabric, so it's a cotton acrylic mix. Really soft, kind of like pajama soft. Really nice soft fabric. It wears really well. I have had a t-shirt of this exact same type of fiber for years and years and years. And both the writing at the front and the fabric itself wears very, very well. So hopefully you can read that. Rather be stitching. So this is the dark gray, and that is this is the ladies. And so that's the I guess it's not really a 3/4 sleeve, it's more of a half sleeve. Then I have two sizes. Now, I have limited sizes because I didn't get a whole bunch because I wasn't sure if people were going to like these or not. So I have sizes large, extra large, and double extra large. I'm a 16, Canadian 16, so I'm wearing the 2 extra large, and that fits quite nicely. This is the same t-shirt in the purple. Rather be stitching. Then this style is called Freedom, and this is more of a kind of a, I guess, a batwing style. It's kind of loose. It's a bit more casual, I think. Great to wear over pajamas. And again, they all have the same thing on the front. So rather be stitching. Again, the same tri-blend fabric. This is the light heather color. Hopefully you can see this. Back to the dark. This is the regular women's t-shirt. Or is that the men's? I also ordered men's. That looks... Oh, that's what it said. Let's see. Nope, this is men's. So I ordered a couple men's as well. So for you male stitchers out there, I'm not leaving you out. That's the dark gray. This is the ladies' t-shirt. So you can see that there's a little bit more shaping down on the side. So that's just a regular women's t-shirt. Also in black. This is also a regular women's t-shirt. And then here's another one of the men's, which you've already seen. This is just a slightly larger one. So these retail for $35 Canadian. If you're interested, I will be listing them in my Etsy shop, but if you're interested and can let me know now, that would be great. Like I said, I have limited sizes, so for the purples, I just have one large, one extra large, and one large and one extra large, because the double extra large are all gone already before I even started, which is nice. Then I have the same, so large, extra large, and double extra, 2XL for the other colors and shapes. So if that's something that you're interested in. The other thing I want to do is do a giveaway with one of the t-shirts. So if you are interested in a t-shirt, underneath, make a comment underneath this video saying something about a t-shirt. Let me know if you like them or not. It's something that I'm interested in doing. I can do other designs, cross stitch or knitting or other craft related designs if that's something you're interested in. The t-shirt quality I think is really, really good. It's I wouldn't have had them made if I didn't like the quality of the t-shirts, and I do. And if that's something you're interested in and you want to win one, then I will send that out to you as well. So please don't rate giveaway, be above the age of 18, or get one of your parents to write a comment, and I will get one of those off to somebody next week. So that's all for me for right now. It is Friday. It's March. I have no idea what day of the week it is. 19th, 20th maybe? Let's see. Oh, I can find out. March 20th. It's Friday, March 20th. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm hoping to get together with you again tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm actually going to be working on Sunday for a few hours, 12 hours. And then if I don't get a chance to speak to you tomorrow, then I'll speak to you early next week for another Patty's Card Chat. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.